love watching Jubilee's videos, but sometimes I wish I covered more topics of things I'm really interested in, like Overwatch for example. But I know dang well that would never happen. Unless I brought on 8 Overwatch content creators to do an Overwatch spin-off of Jubilee's series called Spectrum. If you're unfamiliar with how Spectrum works, contestants are read out a statement and then they will move to an area that aligns with their view on the statement. So, to put an Overwatch spin on this, I've compiled a list of hot takes that I will be reading out to the contestants. This will be done in the attacker spawn of New Queen Street. The 3 circles on the floor represent disagree, neutral, and agree, with the lines in between representing the somewhat stance. So, for example, the line between disagree and neutral would represent the somewhat disagree stance. The creators on the hot seat today are Bro You Whack, Cupcake, Divism, Fariha, CarQ, Nyash, Salty Fish, and Skiesti. I'd really love to make this a recurring series with a wide spectrum of people and topics such as console and PC players, GMs and bronze players, etc. So if you're wanting to see this happen and potentially even be a guest on an episode, please show this video some support by leaving a like and a comment and also subscribing to my channel. With that being said, let's dive right into hearing these content creators' stance on Overwatch hot takes. Our first hot take. Elo hell does not exist. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh.
I split.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Let's start with the agree section. So we have CarQ and Salty Fish.
I think there are factors that can contribute to, you know, like poor matchmaking and fun and all that stuff. Like, I think that's very real, but I've always been a believer that you need to find ways to adapt to the different types of variables and teammates that you do get.
What you're doing is not working, and you think that it's working. You need to sit back, reflect, and change that even more so that you can be the true carry. But yes, I would also agree. Yeah, if you're losing, even if you think you're carrying every time, maybe you should try to carry in a different way.
Okay, so I actually agree with a lot of the points in the agree section. I have the same mindset as CarQ, but I think it's how we define Elo hell, because I have a little theory. It's called the pizza theory. Pizza theory is about 2 halves of a pizza that are competing to be the tastiest half of the pizza. However, you only get a 1/5 of that half to control, right? So you can make your slice as delicious as possible, and that should be your main focus. But sometimes the other team might just have a tastier pizza, and sometimes your side is just maybe a little bit rotten. So you gotta play a lot of games to climb. And so I think that's what people perceive as Elo hell, and I think it's totally real.
Push is better than 2CP. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think push is more fun. I just think the maps that are out right now aren't the best for it.
2CP was like not my favorite game mode. It wasn't very fun. It was imbalanced in that sense. Push is also imbalanced. They both have their flaws, but for some reason I feel like there's a lot more strategy in push, like stopping the push. Like you push it to the neutral area right in the middle, but you don't push it anymore because you want to take a team fight in a strategic position. Push is more fun, so like I'm on this side, but like it has its problems as well, which is why I'm not like hard agree that it's better.
My lovely ladies in the disagree. What do you guys think?
Do you want to, or do you want me to?
You could start. I think both of us can talk.
I love how they look at each other when they talk in game.
Which feels a lot more brawl heavy in most cases, so it just doesn't feel as fun. And then sometimes you just get completely rolled, which I mean happened on 2CP as well. But I felt like I had a bit more agency when it came to 2CP.
Moving on to the third one, we're starting to get a little spicy here. Season 3's ranking system is inflated, and anyone hitting new peaks likely don't deserve that rank. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we have all the little pussies in the neutral. They're just trying not to get canceled here.
I pick agree because I've been hard stuck plat for years. I did manage to hit diamond in season 1, which was really cool. But season 2, I was back to being hard stuck plat. This season, I am currently Masters 4. Like, make it make sense.
I mean, other players are likely experiencing that as well, where like they, you know, are improving and potentially are deserving but
Yeah.
they ranked up in this season, so they feel like they don't deserve it. I mean, that's kind of why I'm in neutral as well, because like, you know, it's not that people don't deserve it. Like, sure, some of those people might not deserve it, but some people do deserve it and are improving, and they just so happen to climb in this season specifically.
Some people here who played gold in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 for like 6 years, and then a brand new player is already gold. I think they've been equalized and been pushed down to like bronze and silver correctly now. So and then that in effect pushes everyone else up a little bit.
All the new
it.
players are going to influx, and they're going to push the existing player base who have been playing for years a little bit higher.
So it makes sense what you guys are saying, that it feels like plat and hires have somewhat been getting boosted, but I think everything under that has been suffering, and it is because, like, unfortunately there is a lower player base and the matchmaking is going wider, and as you guys say, you're in lobbies and you're like, why is this plat in here, why is this gold in here? I'm that gold with those GMs sometimes, or with those, and I'm losing and I'm getting massacred because I don't belong in those games. Like, I know I'm a gold, I know I'm probably like gonna be here for a while, and so like when we don't belong in there, we're not being inflated. We're going to that 50-50.
I want to know if anybody's stance would change if we change the question slightly to be Season 3's ranking system is inflated, and anyone hitting GM for the first time likely doesn't deserve that rank. Okay, all right, so a couple people. All right, this is
Anytime
another
you don't
kinda
deserve it is when you
spicy
rank
one.
down.
Smurfing hurts the game, and there's never a good reason to play below the rank you're actually in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Interesting.
Salty's just mad that he loses against diamonds.
I completely agree because the unranked to GM, I think that's completely fine, but it's when people purposely, I've seen people purposely like buy or purposely like lose to just be in bronze to GM, and I think that's just terrible. That's the reason why there's a lot of talk about elo hell if we go back to that. But there's some people that are in lower ranks that they find it fun to just completely like roll other people.
I don't even like the unranked to GM stuff, to be honest. They have replays. We see like Flats and Emong, and you guys just get replays and what am I doing wrong? Do these, make YouTube videos at it. You can do your unranked to GM through that without ruining games. And then once those big creators do that, you know, you get the smaller creators that use it as an excuse or trying to farm content, even though they're only going to get, you know, 0 to 10 views, but it's their excuse to do an unranked to GM.
Firstly, on the topic of like unranked to GM, admittedly, I have done one. It was for Mercy only because
Get her out of here.
can't imagine the hundreds of people that would ask me, and doing it yourself versus VOD reviewing someone is a very different experience. I really think it's about intention. Like, for example, Crystal, if I wanted to play with you, like we've been wanting to play, I'm gonna have to use a different account.
Well,
and that's not like me into like, assumably we'd be in Masters or something, which isn't like too far from GM, and I'd be playing Mercy, so like it's not like that crazy. But I think
It was my plan to cancel you and get clout the whole time.
The reason why I'm here and not fully here, the only reason is because you want to play with friend. But that's the only reason why like I'm here, is because like I want to play with my friends.
I think that it comes down to intention, like you guys said. When you have someone like me, say I'm learning Widow, right? Obviously, I'm not going to be Masters GM, and if I am, my poor team is going to suffer. So it's like, if I want to learn something like that, or you want to off-roll or learn something completely new, then you're going to need another account, and I don't think there's a problem with that.
Yeah, I've literally had friends that I consistently play with tell me, even in quick play, that the MMR boosts them up so high that the game just isn't fun for them anymore, because we're just all playing on our mains, and then they're also like suffering because they're just, you know, not as good as me as to be expected. But also legitimately, I feel like people that are boosting others, it can only go so far. You know, that also means that if that person who's being quote boosted decides to play on their own, like they're gonna suffer in D rank and just have a miserable time. So that whole boosting process can only last a limited amount of time.
Mercy is one of the easiest heroes to play. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh,
Look at all of these neutral cowards.
I'll pick a side. I'll pick a side.
So we're gonna start with the people who agree with that statement, or somewhat agree. Nobody full agrees because they don't want to get canceled on Twitter.
Okay, so POV, you're playing Mercy. I feel like there have definitely been people and moments where I don't play Mercy a lot, where I just feel like I'm just kind of existing there, and I know that's not how you play Mercy. I know in order to effectively play Mercy, you need to definitely stick to a certain regiment and play style, and that's why I don't 100% agree that, you know, it's one of the easiest ones, because I feel like if you do truly play Mercy right, like you're I don't know, really utilizing that right click beam and all that, which I don't see a lot of people doing. Some people see that full health bar and they're just like, I'm gonna continue healing you. But for the most part, yeah, I think the fact that not much aim is involved, you're kind of just enabling somebody else, is where the easy part comes in.
Obviously, Mercy is not aim intensive unless you pull out your pistol, but obviously that's not what you're doing most of the time. But that's also the same for Winston or Reinhardt or all that. That's what's so unique about Overwatch Junkrat, is that you're not having to have high aim mechanics, and that's what's so attractive about those kind of heroes, but just Overwatch in general.
Mercy, along with a few other heroes, have the like a lower skill floor where you can get a lot of value, especially after the last change where a person's under half health and now she heals like 67.5 HP. It makes Mercy easier to play in that capacity. That being said, just because she has a low skill floor doesn't mean she's easy to master.
Okay, first let's get this out of the way. Oh my god, I can't believe that the Mercy player is in the disagree section. This is crazy. Oh my god, who could have seen this coming? Whoa. Anyway, I could write like a 50-page document about this, but all respect to people whose gameplay of Mercy that I've seen, but I have seen some truly vile, horrendous, terrible stuff that people have done on that hero. It's actually wild. And the amount of people that say, oh, Mercy takes no skill, I could get to GM with her, whatever, and then you say, okay, prove it. And they're like, no, she's boring. And it's like, okay, let's see you actually play her then. And then they don't, and either that's because they're afraid that they're going to be proven wrong, or they know that they freaking suck.
I asked these content creators about a lot more hot takes, but for the sake of time, I'm going to have that be in a part 2. But in the meantime, go ahead and drop any other hot takes that you'd like to see for future videos. And as always, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Overwatch content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.